Colleagues of Mauritius Telecom, members of the media, very good afternoon, and thank you for being here. As we have said in our invitation, we are going to talk about the performance of Mauritius Telecom in 2016, and perhaps even also give you an overview of our key focus areas in 2017. As you're aware, in 2016, Mauritius Telecom has had quite a rich year in terms of number of events or actions that we have taken. It's been a very successful year commercially. Maybe if you recall, it all kicked off with the rebranding of Mauritius Telecom, which is quite historic by nature. And fortunately, it's been a very, very successful rebranding. And for those of you who were present in the rebranding event, you will recall that we also launched another historic milestone for Mauritius Telecom, the 100 megabit per second offer. This, ladies and gentlemen, are the 9 figures following the 2 figures which actually constitute a record for Mauritius Telecom in terms of its turnover. 10 billion 84,131,095. First time in the history of Mauritius Telecom. Thank you. So just to give you slightly more details on this figure, these are the different years in terms of progress, and you know we're in a saturated market. We had threats that I talked to you about last year. I think the management team did very, very well. We have managed to grow despite being in a tough market. At the same time, we're switching networks, going to fiber, but it has been very interesting, and I think that absolute thanks to the whole Mauritius Telecom team, all 2,500 employees, for really working hard to really achieve this great milestone. So this is the turnover, and again, it's historic. And now let's have a look at what happened at net profit or net income. So as you're aware, since a number of years, from 2011, the profit started going down. And I've showed you these figures again, I think last year or since 2016 or 2015, I showed you these figures. And till 2014, it kept going down. And we really had to focus to see what is required to make sure that we do not only increase in terms of revenue, but also increase or stabilize, at least stabilize, the level of profit. And we managed to cross back again last year the barrier of 1.02 billion, in 2015. And in 2016, we have again grown by 16% to a net profit of 1.19 billion rupees. Maybe our management team can get it done. Yeah. Now we'll have a look at the group investments. Let's see, to achieve these profits, what did we do? So again, from 2013, we were roughly between 2.1 and 2.4 billion rupees of investment. But we had to step up the investment. Remember, I told you we're investing in data center, we're investing in fiber, we're investing in a lot of new things. And it had to be done, otherwise our profits would not have stabilized, our revenue would not have grown. And this is what it is showing basically. So we had to ramp up our investments quite conséquemment to 3.9 billion rupees, which is 62%. And this is quite exceptional for a telecom company because it's quite a high level of capital expenditure. But for the benefit of Mauritius Telecom and the benefit of Mauritius, we had to embark on the fiber to the home project. And I'm sure you will appreciate that if profit or revenue were the only concerns of the company or the management, maybe we would have delayed or postponed the investments slightly longer, like it was planned before. But we didn't do that. We decided to accelerate, which has an impact on our figures. But we decided to accelerate because it's in the interest of Mauritius. Without an adequate infrastructure, it is not possible, it would not be possible to give you the kind of speeds that you require today and that you require tomorrow. So this is why we had to really increase the amount of capital expenditure that we made. And it shows, in the next slide you will also see that it shows in terms of number of homes connected to fiber. Just imagine the difference between 2013 or even 2014 and 2016. This is huge. This kind of performance is huge. And again, I need to congratulate the team for absolutely an amazing job. We still have to meet our target of finishing all households before in 2017, that means this year, before the end of this year. But we are on good track. We hope to be able to meet the target, and I think it's been an absolutely amazing growth. It also shows through the figures that the fact that we have grown, because this is home passed. Home passed means these households are eligible for fiber. It doesn't mean they've connected to us, so out of this we've got roughly right now 200,000 customers and an excellent uptake on fiber. People are loving the product and we are being very successful with our fiber. So this is on the fiber. We'll just move on to the 2017 key priorities. It's important to understand where are we going to put our focus. So let me go one step back. I came in front of you in 2015 and said we need to set 5 key priorities, or we've set 5 key priorities for Mauritius Telecom. One of them was accelerated fiber, another was service, third was innovation, fourth was overseas acquisition, and fifth was creation of value for customers. So we've been working along these 5 key objectives. And I'm very happy to say so, on most of the objectives we have made progress. And today, when we've accelerated the fiber, that means the infrastructure is almost finished. We still got around 30% of the infrastructure to terminate, but it will terminate. Once it's finished, you can stabilize the network. Because until your network is not fully ready, you've got resources out there, you can't really optimize your network. So we are awaiting our network to finish quite soon so that we can optimize it. And our number 1 priority remains service. And there are 2 core areas of service that we shall be tackling this year. Becomes friendly for fast, efficient for our customers. And again, I'm sure there'll be some questions and I can go into some more detail later on. The second priority still remains fiber to the home. Fiber to the home is very important, like I said. It's going to give the whole country an edge, and without fiber, you won't be able to get the kind of speeds that you desire. The third priority is the third submarine cable. As you know, in last year's budget, it was announced that Mauritius Telecom will lead a consortium for the investment in a third undersea cable, and we've been working really hard on it, and we hope to find a solution very soon. This is very important and linked to the fiber infrastructure, because you will require more and more capacity. And today, we have capacity through 2 cables mainly. One is safe, one is line. And we really need a third undersea cable for capacity, but also for redundancy services. The fourth objective for 2017 is mobile financial services. Now, I have told you, you will recall that we have threats in terms of OTT. You know, there are a lot of disruptive technologies coming. So you use more WhatsApp when you got free Wi-Fi, you use more of those services. Roaming is declining, and there are a few other things that are happening. So what do we do about it? So we need to basically create value. We need to create value for you, which was one of the 5th, it was actually the 5th objective that we had set, creation of value for customers. Give you services that enable you to become more efficient. Give you services that will help you in your daily lives. So we want to revamp our mobile financial services, and again we're working very hard on it, And I'm sure at the time that we are ready, you will really, really love the kind of things that we're going to do. The last priority, it's actually not the last, but last out of the main priorities, is international or overseas acquisition. This is a core element of our strategy. You will see, I mean, you are aware already that we have around 130-140% penetration rate in terms of mobile subscribers. Basically, most households in Mauritius now will be connected through broadband. We purchased the company in 2011. Mauritius Telecom purchased the shares of Telecom Tower in 2011. At that time, it had a revenue of 627 million and it was making a loss of around 3 million rupees. In 2014, the net income went down to around 13 million rupees, so it was still loss-making. And by 2016, we made a lot of efforts, and I must commend the teams that were there. I must commend the teams that from Mauritius have helped the teams to turn around this company. I'm very proud of it again. And in 2016, we made a profit of 73.4 million rupees. But then we had to take a decision. As you know, Vanuatu, I don't know whether you know where it is. It's quite far from Mauritius. It takes around 2 days to get there because of the flights. And it's a very beautiful island, but very prone to cyclonic disasters. So we thought that it's quite hard to manage an operation that far. And since we want to focus on Africa, maybe we should exit. And our board approved our strategy. And I'm really, again, very pleased. You've got so many good news. I don't know what you will publish. I hope not the wrong things when you ask the questions. But what we are really proud of is that in 2017, we have sold Telecom Vanuatu very profitably with a profit of more than 700 million rupees.